By Order of Me is an installation of signs which the young people have created, which we've now put on Broad Hill. And the kind of form of the sign, I suppose, is like a subversion of the no ball game sign. So using the aesthetic of the no ball game sign, but the young people have subverted the text. So instead of the text telling people what not to do, it's kind of turned that on its head, and it's asking people to change the way they do things, or maybe to do something exciting or things that make you laugh or smile. The interesting thing about these signs is that some of the text on it isn't just one person's idea, it is a development of lots of people's ideas. So sometimes it's a kind of fusion of 2 or 3 or 4 ideas in one, and sometimes the placement of the sign is more than one person's idea as well. So the whole thing, even though there's only 20 signs, it's kind of everybody's idea brought together.
The idea was basically to produce some signs that would make people think about things. If, from the school's point of view, if we were to do that ourselves without the help of the Arts Extreme team, I would actually be quite comfortable to maybe try a different angle and think about, there are lots of signs around Aberdeen that say certain things. How could we actually make all those signs positive? I'd be happy to involve children, perhaps maybe get parents involved in the process, and maybe involve more adults who actually volunteer to work in the school just now as well. I think the advantages for the children were that they believed that they had total ownership of the project, and I think for me that was the biggest thing I got from it. I think the process for us would be learning basically that anything's possible. You can go out there and if you listen to ideas from people and share ideas, I would happily repeat a similar process, not identical process, similar process, and just make sure that every person felt involved in every step of the way.
Broad Hill isn't just a wet and muddy hill, it's much more. This is 54 of us working hard and putting positive and fun signs up Broad Hill. We want adults, not only children, to use their imagination and scream at the top of their voices. Shouting at the top of our voices! By Order of Me is all about being positive, making people smile and laugh, and make them feel free and young again. People could love it! Yay! People could hate it! Woo! But in some way we hope they will still laugh a bit, and we hope to see a smile on their face. Cheesy grin.
The best thing about this for me is the process, is that process of starting out with nothing and not really having an idea of what you're going to do or where it's going to go, and kind of having that fear, but telling yourself it's going to be fine because we'll get there. And we did get there, and it's just been amazing. I think it's been overwhelming. And for me as well, the project has kind of grown as well. It's grown in scale. It started off as this potentially quite small thing, and now within a short space of time, we've created this monumental artwork on a hill, which is just unthinkable to do that in such a short space of time. So yes, that's been a highlight.
I think the best part for the children was that we saw some children who were very quiet in the classroom, and when they're involved in this project, they saw just gradually that their confidence just became more and more and more, to the point that you actually would have seen them as a team leader, where previously you would have had them somewhere as maybe just a bit of a follower. So because their ideas were being heard by different people, unknown people to them, you could see them thinking, wow, I've got something important to say here, and people are believing my ideas are good ideas to take forward. I think from the children's point of view, they saw something that wasn't just a paper exercise. They knew that something was going to be done and they could make changes. And when we were on the Broad Hill, we actually met lots of people. There's a funny story there. We actually met lots of people from the local university, and they were stopping the children and asking them. So they had situations to talk to unknown people and share with them exactly what they were doing. They were filmed with them from the TV, and I can't remember if it was STV, they're filmed from TV, and when we heard them and saw them on the news, we could not believe that some of these people, one boy in particular, would have never spoken like that in any other environment. So I think it's basically a huge confidence building exercise from beginning to end, and to the point that, again, something maybe as a class teacher you kind of try and protect them by lightly engage them in situations where they were just basically thrown into the whole thing, and everything they said was totally valued.
We want you to come up the hill and not want to come back down. Oh man.
We want older people to feel like a kid again. We want you to go up that hill because everyone's talking about it.
We want as many people as possible to go up that hill and stop, look and listen.
We don't just want you to come up the hill. We want you to come up and use your imagination.
Don't just walk up Broad Hill, then walk back down. Look, enjoy the view, look at the sights.
By order of me is...
By order of me is a picture of us running through the long grass in the pouring rain.
By order of me is hitting the birds, the cars, the sea, our classmates and our teachers.
By order of me